Whitefield Golf Club, just north of Manchester, off Junction 17 by the M60. Opened in 1932, a delightful parkland course, short by modern standards, just under 6,000 yards, in fact, from the very back tees, but that's long enough for many people who play golf for fun. It's a private members club, but it provides a very warm welcome to visitors with reasonable green fees, which is something in this day and age. There's trolley hire, they've even got golf buggies if you're feeling lazy. They've got a good function room available to hire, weddings, birthdays, anything you fancy. How about having your 21st here? Come and join us. The first hole, 302 yards, looks an inviting tee shot, doesn't it? The trees down either side in full glow. Those two bunkers are a bit sneaky. They're flat though, and so if you've got a good eye, you can probably get it up very close to the green, or indeed on. Good drivers will go through here, leaving you, just a pitch to the green. The big boys, the young bucks, will try and drive the green, but mind that bunker on the right. You'll notice as we go round the course, there aren't many deep bunkers. Fairly generous greens with a little bit of roll in, nice quality sand, framed nicely by the trees. The second hole, 352 yards, again nicely tree-lined. You'll notice there the buggy paths, yes. You can hire a buggy here, costs a few quid, but have a nice ride round for those with a dodgy knee. Bunker on the left again, also flattish bunkers. They're not really hazards if you can get out, because if you can't, they're monsters. Sneaky bunker up here on the right-hand side. Again, the big boys will have a cut at this, hoping to miss this bunker on the right and land up in somewhere in front of this long, narrow green. A couple of bunkers either side. Again, the green slopes a little bit left to right, bit of a ridge running through the middle, but a nice, pleasant par 4. Now we come to the third. This is the first of the par 3s. Little pond on the right. Well, you shouldn't really go anywhere near that, but some poor old duffers do. Up we go to the green, which is very, very well bunkered. You can see running across the front of the green the buggy path, which takes you up the left-hand side of the green. Well bunkered. Again, those flattish bunkers, but a generous green. And those houses at the back, rather smart. Get a good view of what's going on. Fourth hole, 446 yards, and a good one too. Drive through the trees again, beautiful hedge on the right-hand side, straightaway drive. Again, it's not frightening, but those trees tend to grow in, and when they're full of leaf, as they are at the moment, it's quite daunting for the unwary. The ground gets a little bit hobbly-bobbly here, a little bit almost like a second fairway. Indeed, it is a sort of second fairway. You've got to hit it straight. But that's true on any golf course, isn't it? Up the top of the hill you go, and then, again, a very well-bunkered green. I think the greens here are very nice. They're not silly greens. By that I mean a lot of modern clubs have so many slopes and they're so fast. It really is no fun 3 and 4 putting every time. But you can avoid that here. Just find the centre of the green, and off you go. The fifth is the second of the par 3s here at Whitefield, 210 yards, and I tell you what, this could be a card wrecker. 210 yards, look, no bunkers really, but look at that bank on the left-hand side, trees on the right. Oh, don't go left, don't go down there, bushes and rough ground. This really is a cracking short hole. This would test the big boys. You drive up here, most people, they need what they call a rescue today, or a four-wood, or even, for some, a driver. Look at that fall away on the left. Hard hole. Number 6, 425 yards over the cart path, but see how it bends a little bit banana-y left to right. Whoever planted these trees way back in the early 30s was very wise. It's given the course, a flattish bit of land really, quite a nice bit of character. See the bunker on the right? Stay left of that, then the hole just curves away to the right in front of the flats, looking over the green again. What a lovely view they have. How lucky they are to have such a nice place to look out on a Sunday morning or any morning. But beware that bunker on the left, short, and if you go too strong, into the hedge at the back. OB, play another. On to the 7th, 317 yards, and for the big boys, or should I say the young bucks, they might be fancying having a cut at this green, although it is a little bit of a dogleg left to right. Someone like Rory McIlroy, God bless him, just a mere flick of the wrist, 317 yards. Give me my 3-iron or something equally ridiculous. But this is rather a nice green setting here, just curves round between the trees. Those look more like proper bunkers to me, a decent face on them, which won't please the elderly members or even the young that can't get out very well, but a nice looking green with nice views from the flats. Number 8, 282 yards, stroke index 18, so they consider this to be the easiest hole on the course. Well, I'm not so sure. Down through the little gully, up over the hill, mind the bunker on the left, bushes on the right, big fall-off on the right-hand side of the green. As I said at the beginning, this is not a long course, but you've got to be accurate. It's a good test, and it's certainly good enough for modest players or even those of low handicap. Plenty of nice shots into the green. Look down there on the right. Don't go down there. The 9th hole, last of the par 3s on the first 9, 190 yards, and what a card wrecker this can be. For goodness sake, don't knob it down there. This is a very good hole in anyone's language, and a tester too, just under 200 yards. Well, for a lot of people, that's quite a bold, big, healthy shot, particularly when you've got those bunkers up round the green. And remember, this is almost 200 yards, so wind left to right, bushes on the right-hand side. This is a very testing par 3. On to the 10th, having stopped for refreshment at a delightful little halfway hut. Well, nothing strong, I'll have you know, just a coffee and a bun for me. Good driving hole again, undulating ground. I think one of the features of Whitefield is the need to get your tee shot away nicely. You'll notice there's lots of humps and bumps and hollows and dips, and if you get in there, you don't get such a good sight of the green. These bunkers look nice to me too, and I like the way the ground rises up to the green, perched up on the top, framed by the trees and bushes at the back, on a lovely sunny day with just a zephyr of wind, which happens more than you think. It's an absolute delight. The 11th, another very strong short hole. Make sure you've got plenty of ammunition when you get on this tee. Just look what you've got to get over. My sympathies go to the elderly members that don't get the ball very high in the air, because you've got to. Ground drops away, green perched up on that sort of bluff at the end. Trouble everywhere. No bunkers, thank goodness. So I suppose you can kick in off the right there with a nice friendly bounce. But the quality of the short holes here, degree of difficulty perhaps would be a better word, are very good indeed. No wonder people who play to their handicaps here are a match for anybody. On to the 12th, and this very interesting run for home. The members, well, they think this is the best or most difficult hole on the course, their feature hole, 472 yards, lovely looking drive through that sort of gentle valley, but look how those trees nip in on the right-hand side. Slightly rising ground, bunkers, well bunkered up by the green. This really is a cracking hole. It's 472 yards. In fact, every hole from here to the clubhouse is very formidable indeed. If you look at the yardage and the degrees of difficulty, these are very good holes. Just that one lone bunker front left, bit of room on the right-hand side. But this, again, is a very well thought out hole, which needs plenty of thinking on your part. 13th hole, lucky for some, 444 yards. Again, a testing tee shot, narrow. You really make your score or ruin it from the 12th back into the clubhouse. This is an excellent hole. See, the fairway again just bends a whisker from right to left. But see how closely those trees, a few bushes are on the right. No great rough under the trees, which is almost like Augusta. At least if you can hit, if you can swing, you can scuttle it out somewhere up the fairway. Nicely bunkered round the green, generous green. Again, overlooked by some very pleasant holes. But they wander out of 9 over 3 putt. Now we come to the longest hole on the course here at Whitefield, just over 500 yards, 511 in fact from the back. Again, a little banana shape left to right, little copse of trees there on the left. A bit of an escape route down the left-hand side, but you really don't want to go there because you get behind the trees. Now look how it swings away, then it swings back again. But this very cheeky little dip here in front of the green, which I bet some of the members have spent the best part of their lives in there. Bit of rough ground, difficult to get the shot up and onto the green. Get a nice tee shot away and then play your second up here. For those that can whack it fairly well, you're left with, I don't know, 7 or 8 iron for your third shot. The big hitters, well, they can reach it too, no doubt. But a narrow entrance, well bunkered, big fall away on the left. Good par 5. The 15th hole is 412 yards over the little pond. I bet a few have been in there though. Again, narrowish drive. The trees are, well, are they 25, 30 foot high, but they're very formidable. Again, a little bit of a curve, this time left to right. Very clever how they've planted the trees on the right-hand side to give a pretty straightforward looking hole some definition. Very well thought out, some very good tree planting. Nice sized green. Beware if you hit too hard, scuttle through the back and you're in deep trouble. But this again, a strong par 4. The last 9 here, very formidable at Whitefield. The 16th hole, we're getting towards the end of the course now, 419 yards. You get the feeling there's a little bit more room here, but those are recently planted trees up the right-hand side. When they're up and in full bloom, well, it makes the fairway much narrower, doesn't it? The look of it is narrow. Again, a slight turn right to left. Bunkers up by the green. Those are 2 sneaky bunkers there, because I bet a lot of people get a decent drive away and miscue the second a bit, find one of these 2 bunkers, and it's very difficult to get on the green from there. Lost shot, I'm sure. beware those 2 bunkers up by the green. The 17th, the last of the par 3s, 200 yards, and what an absolute beauty it is. Well, in fact, all the par 3s here are very good indeed. See, down through the valley, up to the green. I don't say it's quite like the 4th at Augusta, but not a million miles away. I love the way the green nestles up against that little hill at the back. 6 bunkers round and about. You're better to be a bit strong here than short, but I think this is a very, very nice short hole. A 3 here, oh, you puff out your chest. And so we come to the final hole, and the only blind tee shot on the whole course, and it's a difficult one. You take a line on one of those trees up over the top of the hill, hit it, hope for the best. Up over the top you go. Fairly generous flat area here. This hole measures 418 yards. And the last 9, well, they're in contrast to the first 9. There are some really excellent holes. The trees come into play beautifully here because this is not the easiest bit of ground to put a golf course on, confined as it is, not a large acreage. But this is a little gem of a finishing hole. The clubhouse, if you wonder where it is tucked away behind that hedge, through the car park, into the clubhouse for a refreshment and to tell the stories of what might have been. Around at Whitefield, very enjoyable indeed. A test for anyone.